G'day folks, this is Sim and welcome back to Blood and Bloody Idiot. Well, we're going to be heading back into the dream world very shortly, but before we do that I did want to just go over one little thing quickly. Mind Factory Reloaded. I have a real love-hate relationship with this mod. It does some stuff really well. In other areas it is ridiculously overpowered, and sometimes it's just plain annoying. The farm setup that I've set up here, the eggplants are fine. Really? They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. However, the garlic, as you can see here, we have empty spaces, and that's because when it harvests the garlic it actually breaks the plant, which means that it needs to then have the garlic converted into seeds, and then the seeds to be replanted via a planter, which means I've got to add in a whole bunch of extra stuff to deal with it, because I've got to separate out some of the excess garlic for seeds, but I don't want too many. So it's going to be a bit of mucking around. Again, I think I mentioned the last time around, seriously, defenses are great, but they're certainly loud, and there is actually a sound dampener over there. What's it actually called? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm not going to waffle on for too long, because this is going to be a different episode to the way that we normally do things. Let's head back downstairs first, hopefully get away from this racket. And you might notice that I've got something different in my inventory. Now, this is a charm of fanciful thinking. It's supposed to help protect you against the nightmare. I'm not sure exactly how it works. It's certainly fairly easy to make. It's just sticks and some fanciful thread, which I brought back from the last expedition. But I'm not sure whether it's actually going to travel through with me or not. So I have no idea whether it will do anything and what it will actually do when I get there. But I figured it was worth tossing one in. So what we're going to do is we're going to head down into here, and I am going to do the right thing, and I am going to put my knapsack and my backpack behind, so I'm not taking anything through. And I think I might actually toss my good tools in here, even though it's not going to make that big a difference. We may as well do that, and all of the other bits and pieces. The rest of this stuff shouldn't matter anyway. And what we're going to do is we're going to head through. Now, we've got a pretty good chance that we're going to go into a good dream, but there's no guarantees, and the way my luck's been, wouldn't surprise me at all if we do walk straight into a nightmare. We're just going to have to wait and see how it goes. Probably should play it safe, grab my keys, and lock the door. Okay, so here we go. Bottoms up. And it's staying light, which means sweet, we have got a good dream. So that should do us fairly well. Now, as you can see, that thing didn't come through, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to actually use it. I obviously have to make it here and then find a way to go into a nightmare from here. But we do have a few things that are left over from the last time around. Now, I've got to be honest, it's been a little while since I've been here, and I've forgotten whether I have showed off much of this in the daylight or not. I honestly can't remember, but this is the terrain that we were running madly through. If we have a look at the map, I'll just give you an idea. And this is what the terrain around where we were living, and I believe our home was in there somewhere. This is what it should have looked like, because it's supposed to mirror. You can see the village over there, which mirrors the village that we have in the overworld. But you can see that the terrain around here is actually quite different. But I believe that that's what the terrain should have looked like in our world. But because we started off and we've gone through some changes, that's why we've got the biome generation. But we've still got some oddities like this thing over here. Now, one thing I do have to watch out for is we are starting out again. There's no mobs in the dream world. It's going to be a chance to basically take a little bit of rest from the stress, focus on some progression without quite so much in the way of horror floating around. But we've still got to watch out for things like hunger. All of the standard mechanics in Blood and Bones are still here. And as you can see, we've got a fairly decent sized village over here, and it's got quite a mixture of crops, all sorts of various bits and pieces in here. Lots of wheat, plus we've got the carrots and the potatoes and all of the standard stuff. So we shouldn't be doing too badly for food, which is good to know, and that will certainly help. But I do need to start off with the basics again, which obviously means tinker's tools, smeltery, and all of that sort of stuff. And obviously I don't really want to put you guys through all of that. I'm sure that there's probably some of you out there that will be happy to watch it, but I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm actually going to make this episode a series of cuts. So I'm going to head off, I'm going to gather up some wood, I'm going to get a few bits and pieces together, we're going to look at putting down the basics that we need to get started, and I'm going to come back every now and then and just show you guys how I'm progressing. So for now, I've got to go and deal with some basic stuff, and I will see you again really soon. Okay, so we've got the essential starting stuff, which is the blocks from Tinkers, so we need to make some tools. I've done a quick scout around and I've managed to find myself some sugarcane, so we're going to make ourselves up a paper binding first, just so that we can get the extra bonus, which I believe still works. If it doesn't, well, I'll find out soon enough. Everything else is going to be flint, so we're going to need a shovel head and, oops, not there, an axe head. We're also going to need a pickaxe head, and we'll take those back. We're going to need them for repairs, and let's see how we go here. The pickaxe first, and hopefully the paper binding will work, and if it doesn't, well, life's a bitch. Yes, so we've got a modifier, so as soon as I can get hold of some moss, I'll be putting moss onto that so that we get the repair. And the other thing that I'm going to be building is the mattock, and that way I've got an axe and a shovel at the same time. It's not as good as having them individually, but to get us started, it will definitely do the job. I'll toss this stuff in here for now. May as well keep the sticks on me. And I've managed to gather up a whole bunch of seeds I'm not too worried about the stuff that's in here now, but you can see I've cleared a large amount of grass and I'm going to clear a lot more. The priority right now is to get some foods with some decent saturation, because back to eating all of this stuff again is not fun. So I've got all of the different fruits and berries down that I can, the ones that we can juice and turn into jam and smoothies. I've already got eggplants here, and one of the important crops that I needed was the garlic, and I've managed to pick up 2 garlic seeds now. And the other one, which is going to be really important to us, is going to be the soybeans. I want to get a fairly large plot of soybeans down. So what I think I'm going to do with the soybean is just quickly duck back over here, because I'm pretty sure I've got a clay bucket, and that'll allow me to steal some water. And we'll grab it from over here in the middle of the village. That'll do, because of course we don't have source blocks, and we want to get roughly into the center here. Looks pretty good. We'll go there just to be sure. Pop that one down, and let's till that so that we can get the soybeans down, and as they grow we will expand them. Now there is a trick. One of the downsides of being in here is that you don't get much in the way of bones from skeletons, because nothing spawns. What we can do though, and some might consider this one a little bit of an exploit, I'll leave that up to you to decide. If you can find, let's just do that now, we want bone. Okay. You can make bone meal bags out of white dye, white stained saplings, or bone meal. The thing is that you can use the bag to get bone meal back. So if I can find some white dye or some saplings, I can make up some of these bone meal bags to get bone meal, which will certainly help things along. Now the downside is the trees are pretty rare. It's going to take a lot of traveling to find them, and that's going to get burned through a lot of food. And the dye requires lily of the valley or white anemone flowers, which again, I've had a quick scout around here, there's nothing close by, so it's definitely going to take a little bit of work to get those. And thank you very much. There's our first garlic. That one grew nice and quick, and the good thing about garlic is you do get generally 3 per harvest, so we'll get that going as quickly as possible, and that will give us some stuffed eggplants, which will do pretty well, because the stuffed eggplant, I think I've mentioned this before, well of course I have, I've got a farm growing it at the moment, and the uses for this stuff gives us a meal which has 3 haunches and 1.5 of saturation, so that's not a bad quickie if we can get it, and everybody likes a quickie. Right, so I've got that done, I've got my tools. I'm going to now work on the next step, which is getting some cobble. As you can see, I've got some rubber tree saplings which I threw in and they've grown, and I've got a bunch of oak trees here which I'll chop down as well, and we will work on upgrading these tools up and doing some more serious mining. So I will join you guys again sometime, hopefully fairly soon. Smarty pants. Okay, so we've got the grunt work taken care of, so it's time to get down to business, and we're going to start off with a smeltery. So we're going to need the smeltery controller, we're going to need probably 2 drains, I suspect. We might need some more later, but 2 will do to start. We're going to need some faucets for the drains. In fact, we'll need another one. Yeah, we'll go 3, I think, because we're going to want 2 of these, and we're also going to want 1 of these, and then we're going to need the tanks, and I should have some glass. Yes, so we're going to need, I'll go with a couple of tanks to start off with. And probably some glass as well, so we can do 6 of those. We may as well do it that way then, or maybe not that many. Let's see. Let's have a look, shall we? I think I'm talking too quietly too, so I'll try and get my voice level up. I'm feeling a little bit husky at the moment for some reason. Not quite sure why. Let's just go with that for now, and of course we are going to need the actual bricks themselves. So let's see how this all ends up. And what else do we need here? I think the lava tanks can go at the back. So I've already prepped a spot. We're going to stick the beastie in here, so there goes our controller. And we're going to want one of the smeltery drains right here, feeding out onto the casting basin, and then we are also going to want another one. I think I'll do it over this side where I've got a little bit of room. In fact, I'm probably going to do 2 over here, so that will be 1 there. Not you, you rude little beggar. 1 of those there, I should say. Let's take that one out. One of those there. We're going to need the floor, of course. It's just going to be a small one to start. We can expand as required. And how are we going to do here? Should do just fine, I think. So we want yeah, actually for now I'll throw those in there. I'll throw the other tank over here, whack that one there. We've got our 2 casting basins, and we forgot the glass. How could we possibly forget the glass? Alright, so that's going to be the glass, and I needed to make up one more drain, didn't I? So one more drain, and you know, we might have enough to go 2 levels straight up. We'll see in just a sec. See how this all pans out. Take that one out of there and stick this drain in. Get the faucets in place now, and our casting basins. So what have we got left? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and right now we can make up how many? We've got 1 left. Let's have a look at this. That's going to be more than enough, so let's go with the 9. Save those bricks just in case. Oops, nope, not quite. 9 plus 1. And hopefully that should work out just nicely. Of course, I always remember after the fact that I needed something, and I'm probably going to need those bricks. Well, I'm definitely going to need them for a tool station. I think I've got enough there. Knowing my luck, I'll be 1 short. But there we go. So that gives us a 2 high smeltery, which isn't too shabby. That means we can smelt 18 at a time. And we're going to need to grab some lava, and fortunately, being next to the village here, that's not going to be too hard to do. Just throw this stuff out of the way for the time being. And we'll duck over here to this convenient little smithy, which just happens to have some lava for us. Now I'm only going to use 1 bucket for now, and I'm definitely going to have to find a more permanent source of lava, although to be perfectly honest, over here we've got probably more lava than we could poke a stick at, so I don't think it's going to be that big a deal, or we're going to have to be mucking around too much down below. For now though, let's get that one in there. Let's get this off the bar so we don't have any accidents. Now sadly, as previously, I haven't had a great deal of luck with tin, so I'm definitely going to have to hope that we actually find some soon. But just quickly, let's get in here, because copper on the other hand has been good, and as you can see, these are all of the fantasy ores. So what I've done is I've come down almost to bedrock level. I've broken off at level 40, so level 40 is down at my feet, and you can see we've got astral silver down here, carmot, infiscolium, which is a pretty important one. We've got our ferrous ores. We should also have, tucked away through here, we've got mithril, more carmot, more mithril, a little bit coal, and carmot, and deep iron. Now none of these I can actually mine at the moment, and that's basically what I'm going to be doing next. So there's probably going to be a big gap in playtime anyway. I mean, it's not going to be long for you guys in the next episode, but I'm going to be spending the best part of my time now going through and basically rebuilding and re-leveling all of my tools so that I can actually mine the materials that I want. We'll start off with copper and we'll go from there, and I'm also going to need to find some gold or some aluminium brass. In fact, I can probably do the aluminium brass now, and we're going to need that because there is one other thing that I particularly want. Actually, let's just grab this. Oh, it's going to be tight. Aluminium brass requires alright, what do we need again? I can never remember. Okay, so it's 1 copper to 3 aluminium, so we should just be able to get away with enough if we do it this way. So first thing that I need to do is I need to throw 18 copper in there. I currently have got all of the patterns made up, and we're going to need some stone. Hopefully I've got some plain ordinary stone in here somewhere. No, my luck, I won't have any of it. You wait and see. Alright, well, got the cobblestone, but that's not going to get us very far because we need to make up a pickaxe head mold. And we're also going to need to make up a mold for a tool rod. And I probably could have done that just with cobblestone, but it doesn't matter. And I think that's, oh yep, okay, so the binding we can do with the shard. And what I really want is going to require a little bit more copper, so a little bit more stone. So let's just see how we're going here. So for 3 of those I need 1 copper, so let's toss that in as well. And while that's cooking up, let's just run back downstairs quickly, because I should have some more cobblestone down here to do the job that we need to do. I'm not sure whether I've seen any other aluminium lying around, which is going to be a bit of a pain, but that doesn't matter. Here we go, plenty of this stuff. Okay, let's get our butts back upstairs quickly. Probably not going to have quite enough to do what I want to do straight away, but if we come over to here, I'll toss that in there. What we want is we want a hammerhead, and we're also going to need a tough binding, and we're going to need a tough rod. Where'd you come from? Can't even remember what I'm doing half the time. Okay, so that's a tough rod. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 molds that we need to make up at the moment. Alright. There's our aluminium brass. So we've got 4 of those. I haven't found any gold yet, otherwise I'd just use the gold. So let's do this. Pickaxe head first. And there's 1. And the tool rod, I'm wondering whether I can hold off and actually get what I need. I'm gonna need no matter how I do this, I can go with the binding and the one that I've got there, but I'm still gonna be, well, maybe not. Hang on a second, no, it won't work. Don't mind me blathering along, by the way, because the other thing we're going to need is a large plate pattern. And the thing is that if we have a look at the recipe that we're going to be working with to make up the hammer, I don't even have the tool forge yet to do it. So let's just fix this pick. I'll do the rest off camera. Oi! Don't do that, you rude bugger. Now I'm going to have to throw that back in there and melt it down again. So let's just get this done. I will do the tool rod. Just to give myself a little bit more durability. So we switch to copper. And I don't have the iron to be able to upgrade anything seriously yet. At least I don't think so, but we'll have a quick look anyway. And the other is the pickaxe head, so let's make ourselves a copper pickaxe head. Oh, I've got to wait for that to get that back down the bottom down there. No. Okay. Don't mind me. Looks like I'm definitely having one of those moments. Pickaxe head. Pickaxe head. Come on, you can do it. Let's clean up this mess. And I can't toss them in there anyway. Alright, so we've got the pickaxe head and we've got the copper tool rod. I don't want to be playing with the binding anyway because it's the paper one. But more importantly, you might notice here that the pick has leveled up a little bit and it's not far away from another level up. And along the way I've managed to get 2 luck boosts on this thing. So we've got luck at the moment. It's up to fortune 2 level, and it's slowly leveling its way up. 2 modifiers to play with, so we're definitely going to be able to boost it even more and get some repair on it. And more importantly, the hammer I am going to enchant with Silk Touch, so I won't be collecting cobble and I'll be able to get the coal and a few other things with a lot less grief. And that was why I've ducked over to the village and managed to trade some wheat for emeralds, so we'll be able to do the Silk Touch without too much hassle once we find some gold. So right now though, let's have a look. Don't think this will work, but you never know your luck in a big city, and I can't remember. I always get tangled up when it comes to these things. Yeah, we need the oh, hang on a second, hang on, I've got to repair this first, otherwise we can't do squat with it. Let's try again. Haha, that's what we wanted. Sweet. Okay, so that will boost that up. And what are we looking at there now? Currently we've got a durability of 75. That's going to push the durability up to 125. So we definitely want to do that, and we definitely want to boost up the handle as well, which pushes the durability up to 174. So that's fairly sweet. The only downside is that it's going to take a bit more work to level, but I can live with that. Alright, so let's grab that, and at least that one's fixed. I'll deal with the other beasties off camera. I'm going to call an end to the episode here, but before I do, we are going to tempt fate, because I've been really wanting to do this for a long time. So let's get all of the stuff that's not really necessary out of here. As long as we've got some food in the belly, we should be okay. I think I will play it safe and put these away, because I probably don't want to leave them floating about for what I'm doing here. Let's get that blank cast back in there and melt it down. We're going to run out of lava fairly quickly anyway until I top up. Right, and the copper can go back over here in the chest. Now, what are we doing? We're going to go and play with some red gas. So I've made up an extra bucket so that I could bring this down here. And you'll notice that when we get down, I've started off another tunnel out here at level 20. So this is all above the red gas level for the most part. But when we get down to here, all of a sudden things get really nasty, and it's all red gas down in there. Now I don't know how much of it's down there, but I figured let's find out. So we're gonna pop that down right about there and back up a little bit more, because this is about to get really bloody messy. And if I die, it'll be worth it. Come on. There she goes. Thank you very much. Alright, and is there any way I can salvage that lava? I don't really need to, it's not that important right now. Let's break that and let's go and have a look and see whether we got lucky. Oh, there's more red gas down there which hasn't exploded, or is it nitrous? I think we will definitely wait until we're sure that nothing else is going to explode. I might just grab some blocks quickly, just in case I need them. So that should be just about clear now. As long as we're careful. Oh wait, let me place. Okay, so there's definitely more gas down there. It's probably nitrous, I'm guessing. We'll find out in just a minute. Yep, so that was nitrous gas as well. Okay, anything interesting down here that we managed to score? Any ore? Would have been nice if we did. Got to be careful too, if I get into void gas, I'm going to start taking damage pretty quickly. Alright, there's a cave over here. That doesn't go very far. Anything? Oh, come on, it would have been nice to give me something. Well, don't worry, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of opportunity for more explosions with time. I'm going to find plenty more red gas, I am sure. And there's my first iron in the fantasy world, which is nice to know. So anyway, thanks for joining me, folks. I am going to be spending a ton of time leveling up these picks, and hopefully when I come back we'll be at a point where we can get some of the newer ores that we haven't had a chance to play with yet, and we'll see where everything goes from there. Until then, hope you liked this episode. Look forward to seeing you in the next one, and until then, take care of each other and ciao for now.